The next guy we'll talk about is this guy, fellas. It's going to be Ben Johnson, the Detroit Lions. I'll throw this picture up on the monitor that way we talk about him now. He's staying with the Detroit Lions. This year, 3rd in yards, 5th in points, 4th in touchdowns. The production for the Lions was incredible and on a level that we have just not seen in recent histories for the Lions. And for them to have that production, it shows you because the record that we had with statistically one of the worst defenses in the league for a stretch of the season. They stepped their game up in that second half, but that first stretch of the season, statistically, one of the worst defenses in the NFL. For us to still have this record that we have, I think a lot of it goes to this guy.
I do agree, too. And I think next year we'll be saying the same thing, whether we win the Super Bowl or don't make the playoffs. You know what I mean? Like, I think we'll be saying the same thing about
hopefully still singing his praises, right?
Is he going to stay? Is he going to go be a head coach?
Because that's what happens when you have a successful coordinator. That seems to be the pipeline or the general rule of thumb for where you look for, what type of pool you examine first for head coaching vacancies.
Especially now, too, with just a wave of like young NFL coaches. I know we've talked about it before on here, but
bright minds, especially a lot of offensive minds, that seem to be kind of like you said, the new wave.
The names come to Kyle Shanahan, Sean McVay, blah blah blah, Mike McDaniel.
McDaniel's the guy,
just like geniuses at their craft. So.
Yeah, and so the reasoning for staying here, he said, "quote staying to build something special," and that to me is like you talk about changing culture all the time. And Dan Campbell's a huge culture guy, but when you have something that is tangible. And you can see the culture change where you're retaining guys like this. When you have guys that are coming back saying they'll take pay cuts to be a part of a franchise, that to me is tangible, hard proof and evidence that your culture maybe not has changed, but is changing, right? And is different. And I guess it has changed, yeah.
It went from Fat Matt and Bob Quinn to
Holmes and MCDC.
Right. It's like you...
Two incompetent individuals to two extremely competent individuals.
And the incompetent ones probably put our team back 2 to 3 years, and
Agreed.
I think Campbell and Holmes did a great job of what obviously they're doing now, and it also starts with I don't know what they're going to do with Aaron Glenn. I'd love to keep him as a guy, you know what I mean, like the guy part of it.
But obviously he's under attack for a lot of his scheme and his stats on that side of the ball.
An answer for the defense.
He's got interviewed for a head coaching job.
Yeah.
He did. So
I don't know how.
They're entertaining it. I don't believe he'll be a front runner for anything, but he will certainly be considered.
Can I be like completely honest here? I just don't think he was going to get hired for any jobs.
I'd agree with you.
Ben
I don't
Johnson.
think he's going to be. Oh, Ben?
You don't just come back to be an OC because you like believe in something, because he's going to leave next year.
That was the next thing I wanted to talk about.
So that's why I'm not. Maybe he wasn't going to get the job that he wanted, because like when you around stuff like that, you feel me, Kobe? You know when something going your way and when it's not. I think that he saw that, you feel me? Maybe what he wanted wasn't going to work out right now. So the easy thing to say would be, oh, we building something special. Now, if he stays in Detroit for the next 5 years,
I agree.
Then okay, he believed what he said.
So I'm with you. I think that because he did have opportunities. He had at least 3 or 4 interview requests and like people that were obviously courting him to potentially come and be a head coach. But, on the other side of things, a head coaching job comes with millions and millions of dollars guaranteed.
You feel me?
And
he'd have took that job. He'd have set his family for the rest of his life.
He would be an idiot to refuse head coaching jobs. Now, with that being said, if you go to the wrong place and get the wrong head coaching job, you can set your career back and kind of ruin your reputation. So like you said.
Do he want to go to Houston?
Uh-huh.
They don't have nothing going on other than the number 2 pick.
Do you want to go try and fix Russell Wilson? Like...
Save me the time.
The Colts, same deal.
Yeah.
So very interesting. And then you throw into the fact that Sean Payton is in this coaching pool.
You feel me?
He's actively making a comeback, and anyone in their right mind would take Sean Payton to coach their team over Ben Johnson. No shot to him. Sean Payton's just that guy.
That's why I was like, okay,
I would
next
agree
year,
with you 100%.
Yeah, I mean, I guess
Pete Carroll maybe retire. Who else will probably be on the hot seat? If the Bears suck, if the Bears are terrible next year, they'll probably fire Getsy, or not Getsy, Eberflus.
Yep.
Who else?
Good question. I mean, the Chargers should have already gotten rid of. The Chargers should have already gotten rid of Staley.
If Staley choke again, he'll get rid of that. That's probably where he want to go. Probably is L.A. He's Staley coming back for another year. I'll let him choke again. Then I go coach Justin Herbert.
Now it is very interesting though, because that's exactly what I thought. Is like,
or maybe you want to go to the Rams.
He's a smart dude. He's a smart dude, and I think he'd be dumb to not take that type of guaranteed money. And I'm agreeing with you that if it is truly about building something special in Detroit,
be there for 5-6 years. If not, like if he just leave next offseason, then it's like just say you feel
You
me?
relying. Yeah, just say give it to us straight.
Just say you weren't ready.
Yep, 100%. Now, I will say it is really cool because he obviously has buy-in from the players. This was a picture that Amon-Ra put on his story, and I just wanted to include it because I thought it was funny. It's literally just, I think I have to zoom out a little bit on it, but it's just the little, like, crying face, and it says, like, happy crying face. Those of you listening, not like the crying, but like the sappy, like, happy crying face, and it says, if you know, you know. And he posted that right after it was announced that Ben Johnson was coming back. Now, for him, I mean, that's awesome because we saw what he was like in a Ben Johnson constructed offense, and he is the focal point of that offense. Yes. So he obviously has a lot to gain from Ben Johnson coming back. But like I said, it's very cool to see outreach from players and to see their support for guys that are coming back. And I will say, even after losing what people thought was a franchise tight end in Hockenson this year, again, emphasis on thought. I have it in all caps in my rundown. I thought when we picked him up we picked him that highly, and we've seen some of the plays he's able to make as a playmaker. He's an incredible athlete, and I think he's a really good player. He was not the franchise guy that we thought he was going to be. So when you can take him out of the lineup, you bring in a guy, Brock Wright, never heard of this guy in my life. He comes in and produces, and you're like, was it really TJ the whole time?
James Mitchell, Shane Zylstra.
Mm-hmm. All guys that had big games. Zylstra had a 3-touchdown game.
They're all system tight ends. That's what Hawk is too.
Exactly.
Give him the right system, he'll succeed.
100%. And not to take shots at Hawk. I think he's a talented player, but I would agree with that. I think that it was just the Ben Johnson effect, man. He's done a fantastic job with that offense. Now, finishing off this topic, where do we rank the Lions' offensive groups right now as far as the league standing goes, like by position group? Where do you want to start with? Let's start with wideouts.
I'd say they have a top.
Amon-Ra, you hope that Chark.
No, Jamo.
J-Mo is not over Chark right now.
Bro, are you kidding me?
No. J-Mo has
Jameson Williams will be the number 2 receiver next year.
I'm talking right now.
Probably will next year.
I'm talking right now.
I thought you meant like next season coming
No, because J-Mo has not played enough snaps to be a number 2 wide receiver, right?
He will be next year.
Okay, I'm not arguing that. I'm saying he hasn't played enough snaps right now. He has to prove that.
All right, so
I think he
Amon-Ra,
can.
Chark, Jamo.
Yep. And then you have Khalif, who's been out there a decent amount.
Reynolds.
And Reynolds. Raymond and Reynolds. I think Reynolds probably a bigger piece of that than Khalif. But
all right, you got to go by divisions when you do like that. They got the second best receiving group in their division.
Outside of Minnesota?
Yeah, Minnesota, they better than Green Bay and Chicago, obviously.
I would agree with that.
You go NFC South, better than Carolina. Tampa Bay got them beat.
Yep.
Better than Atlanta. And
Saints. That's a
better
tough
than
one. That's tough. That's a tough one. But I would take
I would take
Lions.
New Orleans. I would take New Orleans.
Would you?
Just because Olave,
I'd say Olave's
he just went
had a
crazy,
year.
and Mike Thomas. And Jarvis is a veteran. I would take.
I would agree.
But
Yeah,
so
very similar.
if you go NFC West,
What?
they better than the Rams. San Fran got them.
Easily. Yeah. But, so I guess just
Arizona
as a
got
blanket
Top
statement.
12, top 10.
Top 10. I think top 10 is not a reach for that group. I think they've shown a lot. And like I said,
No, they're not top 10. I didn't even make it out the NFC, and they probably already 5th.
they were 4th there.
Right, and I haven't even made it. And
Okay.
I skipped a division.
But I don't want to go through each division for each group. I just kind of wanted to run
I'm gonna
through.
do it when we get
You
off
know
the
what I mean?
air.
You can do that when we get off the air. It just takes too long.
Off
you know what
the
I mean?
air.
For sure.
But anyways, that wide receiver group definitely coming to its own.
It's nice though.
Jared Goff, the way he's been playing at the quarterback position has been awesome for us. It should just be about
Top
consistency for him.
15 quarterback.
There you go. And then the running back duo that we have,
Top 7.
top 7.
Yeah. Jamal Williams just scored touchdowns, so it don't really sell me like that.
That's fair. He's definitely been a goal line guy
Top
for them.
O-line, top 3.
Yeah, for sure. That
O-line was the
crazy.
next one I wanted to go to.
O-line
They were
crazy.
really
D-line,
top 5.
top 6.
Dealing with injuries and things like that throughout the entire season as well. A lot of guys weren't even playing healthy, like Decker. So some of those things to consider as well.
And
goes into that.
Ragnow was playing hurt.
Yep.
Evan
You
Brown
lost-
played a lot too.
You lost some interior guys there for some stretches of the season. So I'm just very encouraged by what they have coming back. Obviously, they still need to get deals done with guys like Jamal, guys like DJ Chark, like those guys. But
Deshaun Elliott.
Deshaun Elliott, a good one too. A good one. That's other side of the ball, obviously. But